Looks like we got a bona fide, no-holds-barred beef cooking. The old block crew repping Chicago and the YG'z squad straight out of New York are locking horns, and it's getting lit. I mean, they're taking their showdown to every nook and cranny of social media, turning it into this wild virtual battleground. One old block affiliate even warned Osama after he had the nerve to speak on Chi-Town's dead homies. You already know, we're talking about King Von. All the issues basically kicked off with Osama paying old block a visit. He went to old block and he filmed a live for all of his IG fans to see. Some of the fans enjoyed seeing him pay homage to King Von, other old block drill rappers. Others thought it was distasteful. One comment even said, treating old block like it's a safari. Weird. Now, if things had stayed at this little tourist trip from Osama to the old block, nobody would get in their feelings. However, sadly, this was not the case. See, someone in the video of Osama took things a bit further, and they dissed on an op of theirs. This did not sit well with a whole bunch of folks. See, Wulati was an NYC boy who got stabbed to death 3 years ago. Wulati was reportedly stabbed to death by 2 members of the OG gang in Harlem, New York City. The young boy was found dead in the Bronx, NYC, in April of 2020. Later, the police also arrested 2 men, a 28-year-old and a 16-year-old, for their involvement in the death of Wulati. It's reported that the murder suspects were later charged with Lottie's murder. This time, there are 5 behind bars, responsible for taking this young man's life. So the fact that someone is smoking on Lottie did not sit well with everyone who saw Osama's IG live. Instantly, we saw a comeback from one of the guys who was close to Lottie. You can't just smoke someone's dead ops and expect to get away with it. When we saw an IG story from Tuz Doe, who some consider to be the most underrated YG'z rapper, with a caption that wrote, "Shake my head, what happened to do?" Tuz uploaded 2 photos of deceased old block members, but that wasn't the end. It gets even worse. Tuz went on to post yet another story, and that one had a message that said, "It's burnt, but we gon' be wrong and fanned out if we start smoking Bond or Keita or T-Roy and his slow-ass brother, right?" He then tagged a bunch of Chi-Town rappers in the post below. Tay Savage isn't even an old block rapper per se, but he's kicking it with a lot of folks who are. Now, a bunch of old block representatives just happened to find themselves in Manhattan exactly at the time that Tuz Doe decided to diss the old block. Without any hesitation or fear, a couple of the members filmed themselves walking down the busy Manhattan streets, and they bragged to the camera how they are smoking on Lottie, just to provoke Tuz even further.
Who we smoking on?
Lottie, and we in the city.
Lottie.
This reply then spiraled into a pretty ignorant back and forth between the bunch, and it was all over social media. Tuz said, "Shoot up blocks and grandmas by mistake through the window," and all type of weird shit like that. Then be missing kids, all type of shit. Y'all think that's tough? The insults and threats were laid out, and hurtful words poured out from both sides. Another Bronx drill rapper noticed what was going on. He quickly intervened into this Chicago NYC beef. That rapper is YG'z. Yus went all out in an IG live on his own that he calls Smoking Bomb. And he called out all the Chicago gang members who filmed themselves in Manhattan, and he told them to come to the Bronx. Later, we told them they best keep Wulati's name out their mouths or there will be trouble.
Suck my. Keep Wulati name out your mouth. Go pick a wrong. Suck my.
600 Breezy tried to defuse the situation when telling the old block youngins to stop dissing the dead ops that they never even knew. There's real pain behind that, and there's no reason for anyone to do such a thing. Tay Savage, aka Bully of Chicago, posted another photo of NYC on his social media. Tuz Doe couldn't help himself but call out a bluff. He went on to say, "Stop bluffing with this old picture gang. Where y'all at?" Then Tay Savage came up with a photo of all his gang in Times Square. Can you imagine what Tay Savage did? Of course, he went straight to Bronx to show that he is not afraid or intimidated by anyone, let alone YG'z.
Y'all don't want the Bronx. Tap in, Philly, Bronx, Jersey, New York, tap in.
Tay is a leader and someone who is looked up in some circles. This was just an example that if there's problems somewhere on the way, then they're bound to get squashed, one way or another. Luckily, we saw YG'z come up with an apology quickly after the insulting video came from his side. He posted a story that said, "Misunderstanding, long live King Von." It was a sight for sore eyes, this apology. Things were spiraling out of control, and for a second, people thought we might be going into another gang war, this time between 2 cities, and not just any cities, but places who have basically given birth to drill rap and many dangerous folks. jokes. Long live King Von didn't mean to disrespect bro like that, but his little man's gotta watch they tone. We don't know you or said anything for you to smoke on Lottie. RIP both souls. Now, O-Block was keeping the same energy as the NYC boys did. Believe it or not, we saw him drop an apology online too, and it seems like they weren't looking for any trouble. It was all a big misunderstanding, and that could have been easily avoided. One O-Block member said, "The tongue is very powerful, this I know for sure. With that being said, to everyone who watching me, fans, labels, etc., excuse my behavior. We ain't dissing no strangers. It was a misunderstanding. We ain't know, though. Reached out and we to an agreement." All hip-hop fans online were pleased to see this incident get squashed real quick like that. We're all human and not a single person on this earth is untouchable. There's absolutely no point in trying to prove that one place is more dangerous than another. These are not facts that we should brag about, and the fact that these two sides managed to calm things down is a good signal. Most people agree. One comment wrote, "Look at it as a positive and growth on both sides. Yeah, it could have went bad and it started with bad intentions, but they both grew and learned from this. Kids take notes, RIP to all the fallen souls." And another person said, "The delusion to think you're untouchable is what gets so many people smoked. I think that's the devil's favorite tool to use, pride and ego. People want beef so bad these days, but it's time to drop that stuff and look forward to a brighter future with less conflict." How y'all feel about this gang war that almost ensued between NYC and Chicago? Are you too thrilled to see that these two factions decided to drop the ball before things got out of control? Let us know about it down in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching to the end. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more hip-hop related content. As always, remember to keep it RIZZLE.